Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit, coming back to you with another video on a beautiful day here in Connecticut. I'm just in my backyard. It's probably maybe 60 degrees right now. It's about 9 in the morning. I think today's gonna get up to about 80 degrees, so perfect weather. And yeah, just a beautiful day. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, what I wanted to do was I wanted to share 10 things that I'm doing every day to be able to improve my health. Now, I know on this channel we talk a lot about selling on Amazon, we talk about making money, we talk about business, but one thing that I've realized over the 13 years of being in business is the sharper your mind is, the better you feel, the happier you are, the more you improve your mental health, your physical health. I mean, it all translates over. You have more energy, you just feel better, you're more productive. When you feel better, you work harder, you make better decisions, right? So, for me, I'm really going all in with my health, and I've shared some videos on the channel how, I changed my health. Like, I had lost a ton of weight 2016 and 17, lost a bunch of weight, kept it off 2018, 19, 20, 21, and then in 2022, I moved back home because I had moved out to Miami. I was living there with Roma the Roamer, my friend and business partner. We were there through COVID and everything. But anyways, I came back. I was living out of a hotel because it was really hard to buy a house, and finally purchased a house here in Connecticut, which I'm at right now. But yeah, long story short, I just started neglecting my health pretty much like at the end of 2021, 2022. I was just getting comfortable. I had moved in with my girlfriend. She had moved in with me. We were eating out a lot of Uber Eats, had a car that hit my house. And I mean, I'm not here to just share a bunch of excuses, because you could have a lot of crazy stuff going on in life and you could still improve your health. You can still be healthy. You can still run your business. But I just got soft. The reality is I got soft. I became complacent. I stopped doing the things that helped me to lose a bunch of weight, and I was fit and I was healthy and I was feeling really good. And I just let go of a lot of the things that got me to where I had gotten to, right? From 2016 and 17 and 18 to 2021, 2022. So I ended up putting on about 50 pounds. I'll put some video B-roll. I shared this on my Instagram the other day, but I mean, my gut was absolutely huge. I looked like I was pregnant, and I felt like it too, right? I don't know what it's like to be pregnant, but I felt tired, lethargic. I mean, I felt like I was carrying a baby. And yeah, since then I've lost about 50 pounds, but not just 50 pounds of, weight, 50 pounds of fat. I mean, I've put on muscle, I've been consistent in the gym, and I'm gonna just talk about some of the things that I've been doing that have really helped me out, because maybe this can help you to, I don't know, just spark some new ideas, or maybe you're going through some challenges with weight gain or your health or your fitness, or you're just not feeling as good, right? Because at the end of the day, you could make all the money in the world, you could be successful in business, you could be crushing it on eBay and Amazon, but I mean, wealth is health, right? We always think that, wealth is having a ton of money and being successful and people saying, wow, you're so great, look how awesome you're doing, look at you bought your own house, like you're doing so amazing. But at the end of the day, you could have all the money in the world, but if you feel like crap, especially mentally and physically, I mean, what do you really have? So let's get into the 10 things that I'm doing every day to improve my health. And this is just what I'm doing. I think the goal of this video that I have for everybody is maybe you find one or two things that resonate with you, one or two things that maybe you could implement or experiment with to see how it works for you. So again, this is just me. I'm not a health fitness guru. I'm just a guy who is, getting healthy, who's changed their life in many different ways. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so number one thing that I've been doing, which has really been working out great, is on the days that I'm not working out, and I typically work out first thing in the morning, I'm going low carb, right? So like today I had ground beef and eggs for breakfast, and for some reason, again, this might not be for everybody, it makes me feel incredible. I had 3 ounces of ground beef, and then I had 3 eggs. Oh, so good. And for me, I'm the type of person, right? There's two types of people. There's the people who love like the sugars and sweets, and then there's the people who love like all the carbs and the rices and the bagels and the starches. That's how I've always been. Like, I love eating the rice and the potatoes and the chips and the bagels and all the carbs. And I still eat plenty of carbs, but this one little tweak during the workday, lowering the carbs and not spiking my insulin, I just feel so much more productive. I feel less bloated. I feel more energetic. I feel like I have less energy crashes. Now, when I'm working out and hitting the gym, because I'm hitting the gym hard, I'm having like a banana and honey before my workout or a couple of kiwis. So I'm carb loading up a little bit. And then after my workout, because I'm hitting the gym hard, I'm having some rice, I'm having some potatoes, I'm having some carbs, but I'm timing my carbs. I found that to be really, really useful. And even after my workout, so say I'm working out and I'm having some carbs before and after, I notice those carbs don't really affect me. They don't give me like a ton of brain fog because I worked out. But if I'm not working out, and even like for lunch, because I typically am working from like 9 to 3 or 9 to 5, I'm trying to keep the starchy carbs and like just spiking my insulin on the lower end. That's really been helping out a lot. Number 2, this has been the game changer. And I shared this in one of my Instagram stories where I shared that B-roll of my big gut and how I, lost about 50 pounds of fat. The number one thing that you've got to keep in mind is you can go to the gym all day long. You could work out, you can walk 15,000 steps. You could be getting stronger in the gym. You could be eating all the protein you want in the world. That stuff doesn't matter. If you're looking to lose fat, it's 100% from your diet, right? Maybe 90% from your diet, right? It's what you put in and what comes out. How many calories are you eating? So for me, what I did is for a couple of weeks, I tracked my calories. So I tracked it at 2,300, and I figured this is for me at 2,300, my body didn't lose any weight. So like I kept up walking 10,000 steps, hitting the gym. I ate 2,300 calories for the week and I didn't lose any weight. So then the next week I lowered it to 2,100, and then I lowered it to 2,000. Then I lowered it to what I'm at now. And I found the amount of calories that I can eat that essentially I'll lose about 1% of my body fat, maybe a 0.5% to 1% per week. Oh God, I'm getting attacked by a bee. There's always a bee attacking me. You see that, Harry? Sorry guys. The bees are out here looking to attack me. So the biggest thing that I've done over the last year and a half to lose about 50 pounds is tracking my calories. So I use an app called MyFitnessPal app. And what I would recommend is just, again, experiment with calories and see, like, weigh yourself at the beginning of the week and then weigh yourself at the end of the week and eat the same amount of calories throughout the week, and try to figure out an amount of calories that you can eat that'll lose about 1 to 2 pounds per week, or about 0.5% to 1% of your body weight per week. So that's what I've been doing. Again, before I started tracking my calories, I was going to the gym every day, I was walking, I was exercising, and I just literally wouldn't lose weight. And it's because I wasn't tracking my calories. Now, again, I know there's some freaks out there who have crazy high metabolisms, like my good friend Avery, who's shredded all year long. And a lot of times you'll look at these people like, wow, they're working out so hard, like they're going so crazy. But a lot of these folks have gifted metabolisms. Now, I know my friend Avery, he works hard in the gym, he's got an amazing work ethic, but some of these people who are shredded all year long, it's not realistic because not everybody has a metabolism where you're just burning 4,000 calories per day. So again, a lot of this comes down to experimenting, but again, tracking my calories in the MyFitnessPal app every single day, the number one biggest game changer for me to lose weight, feel better, get healthier, and I mean, it's just, I can't say it enough. It's been a game changer. Now, I already kind of jumped the gun for number 3, and that's eating in a calorie deficit. So I kind of already talked about that. You don't want to just track your calories and track your food. If you're looking to actually lose weight, and you should be focused on burning fat, you don't really want to lose muscle because muscle's your metabolism. And a lot of times people will just drop their calories ridiculously low. They'll crash their metabolism and they'll lose, 3-4 pounds a week, but they're losing, they're losing 50, 60, 70% muscle and only a small amount of fat. But it's better to lose the weight slowly and surely versus doing it fast. I mean, in my opinion, the faster you lose the weight, the faster you're going to put it back on because you're not building sustainable habits. So eating in a calorie deficit for me was huge. And again, I went into about a 500 to an 800 calorie deficit per day. So again, I was losing about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per week on this journey. And again, tracking the calories, being in a calorie deficit, I mean, absolutely a game changer. All right, the fourth thing that I've been doing to improve my health, and not just losing fat and looking better in the mirror, right? But feeling better. And again, this is just for me personally, but I found that eating foods like I mentioned before, like ground beef, eating a ton of steak, and if you're in a calorie deficit, you're probably gonna wanna stick to like the sirloins and the leaner cuts compared to like ribeyes and stuff, just because there's a lot more fat content. And it's the same with ground beef, sticking to the 93, 96%, or if you want to save some money, buy the 80% ground beef, which is a lot cheaper, and then just drain it out. But eating ground beef, because ground beef is the most like micronutrient dense protein that you could essentially go after. Like ground beef in red meat, steak. I mean, there's way more nutrition in it compared to chicken. So when I eat ground beef compared to chicken, I feel like a different person. When I eat eggs, I mean, eggs are just jam-packed with just nutrients. I mean, when I eat eggs, pasture-raised eggs, when I eat ground beef, when I eat steak, when I eat vegetables, when I eat fruits, ones that are maybe on the lower glycemic index side of things, like berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, when I eat bananas, even though I think that's a little bit higher, I feel good. So experimenting with those types of foods, like eating whole foods, I'll tell you, one thing that I was doing that was just really messing me up, and again, on social media, you're gonna see everybody telling you to do this. I was eating a ton of protein bars. I was eating a ton of protein chips like Quest. Quest has a ton of those snacks. Yes, you're gonna get your protein in. Yes, it will fill you up to an extent, but it did not make me feel alive. It did not make me feel good. It actually kind of messed up my digestive system. I'd be hungry, an hour later. It's the same with like protein drinks and drinking your calories and stuff. For me, eating sweet potatoes, eating, for a carb source, white rice after my workouts, but eating it in good portions, with the vegetables and with some fruits, but especially the ground beef, especially the red meats, the steaks, the leaner ones. I actually am having a ribeye tonight, so I'm excited about that. I mean, it just makes me feel good, but that's just me. You've got to experiment for yourself, but I dare you to literally eat nothing but whole foods like eggs, ground beef, have some rice, have some sweet potatoes, obviously portion it, track it. Do this for a month, your whole life will change. I dare you to do it. All right, the fifth thing that I've been doing that has really been helping me with my health is tracking my steps. So maybe you have a Fitbit, maybe you have like an Apple Watch, or for me, I don't like to wear those watches. I find them uncomfortable. So I have an iPhone, and on the iPhone, there's a health app, and on the app, you could turn it on so it tracks your steps all day long. So of course, you're gonna have to have your phone on you all times, but like sometimes I walk on my walking pad at my house and I leave my phone, on the table, and then I just manually input, like I'll track my steps on the walking pad, and then I'll manually input it into the app. But starting to focus on how many steps you're walking each and every day, and I've had my mom recently start doing this. It's a game changer because you could burn quite a bit of calories throughout the day by getting in, additional steps. Now, you're not going to be burning 1,000 calories a day, but you can burn an extra 100, 200, 300 calories per day by getting in, 5 to 10,000 steps. And again, you might not be thinking like 300 calories is a big deal, but over a month, that could be the difference between losing an extra 3 pounds versus staying the same. So I highly recommend starting to track your steps. For me, I'm walking around 10 to 15,000 steps per day. Although recently it's been much lower because I kind of messed up my back. So, sometimes, you're gonna have an injury, you're gonna have to work around in the gym, or you're gonna have to pull back your steps and just focus on rest and recovery. But having a step goal and tracking it and looking at it, similar to like weighing yourself once a week, tracking your calories, tracking your steps. This is a common theme that I've been using in my life, and this translates over to business as well. If you want to be able to grow your business, you need to be able to track things, right? You can't manage what you don't measure, and I mean that's very true in business, but especially with your health as well. All right, the sixth thing that I've been doing is I've been lifting weights 4 times per week. So again, I'm just sharing what I'm doing. If you've never, tracked your calories before, obviously don't just drop your calories by 1,000 of what you think. That's not realistic. That's not sustainable. If you've never gone to the gym before, or if you don't know what you're doing, I'm not telling anybody here to do what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. But going to the gym 4 times per week, lifting weights, pretty much my split is Monday, chest and tri, Tuesday will be off, Wednesday will be back and buys, Thursday will be legs, and Friday will be shoulders. So that's my split. And again, back to the tracking. I've got a little journal that I bring in my workout bag with me, and I just write down all my workouts. I track my weights and what I'm doing. And every week I do my best to focus on getting stronger. Now, sometimes I'm dealing with injuries because I've had a lot of nagging injuries with my neck, with my back, with my hips, but overall, I'm focused on trying to get stronger in the gym. And one tip that I would give as well is when you go to the gym, leave your ego at home. This is one thing that I'm still working on, that I'm still trying to improve, is it's not always about how much weight you're lifting, because a lot of times you can lift twice as much, but with really bad form, and you're swinging and you got your chest back, you don't have your shoulders pulled back like when you're doing pressing movements, like you're swinging it, you're not feeling the stretch. So get educated, right? For me, I had a personal trainer for over a year who really helped me to learn the exercises and was there accountable for me. Now I'm on my own. I actually got rid of my personal trainer because, you know, there's pros and cons to having a personal trainer, right? I like having the freedom of, you know, just choosing my own exercises, not always having somebody looking over my shoulder, so on and so forth. But again, that comes with time. But lifting weights 4 times a week, tracking what I am doing for all my workouts and trying to beat it week by week, that's definitely helped me to, you know, put on a little bit of muscle mass. And the more muscle you put on your body, again, your metabolism starts to, in a sense, burn more fat, right? Because you have more muscle that requires more nutrients, more calories to maintain. So as you put on more muscle, it's a small amount, but your body will actually burn more calories. So yeah, definitely one of the things I've really been focused on. Again, not trying to lose weight too fast, keeping my protein high, getting stronger in the gym, eating a ton of whole foods, and that's definitely been helpful for me. All right, number 7, the 7th thing that I've been focusing on, and I think this is probably at the top of the list, is prioritizing sleep. So making sure I'm getting in 7-8 hours of sleep per night, because if you're not getting good sleep, your hormones are gonna be whacked out, you're gonna be irritable, you're gonna be tired, your decision-making skills aren't gonna be there, you're gonna feel more fatigued, you're gonna be more likely of just getting injured, right? So prioritizing sleep, trying to prioritize getting to sleep at the same time, putting on my blue blocking glasses about 1 to 2 hours before I go to sleep, making sure that I'm not doing things that are stressful a couple hours before going to bed. So that could include working. I'm not working, at least 2 hours before I go to sleep. I'm doing my best not to, if I am on my phone, not engaging in like doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, because that really just gets me just freaking going wild, losing my mind. I could watch a YouTube video or I could watch a movie because it's a bit more relaxing. But again, get to know yourself. What gets you all jacked up and what kind of relaxes you? So that also could include doing things like, going in the hot tub a little bit, going into the sauna. There's other things that I do to kind of wind down as well. I have a night ritual that I go through. So if you're in my eBay to Amazon Facebook group, I posted some screenshots of that, but maybe my editor can post it up, my morning and night ritual that I have. I posted some screenshots in there, but I have a little night ritual where I kind of reflect on my day, think about my wins and my losses, kind of plan my day for the next day. I write down some things that I am grateful for. There's, quite a few things that I do with my little, nightcap ritual, but essentially it kind of brings the day together, allows me to kind of put it in the past, reflect upon it. And I found that just helps me go to sleep because I don't have so much on my mind. I've kind of gotten it out. If I have things I want to do the next day or things that I'm worried about, like, last night I had remembered, holy crap, on one of my rental properties, my insurance, they're dropping me because they're not going to be in my area anymore. And I have until like mid-September, and I completely forgot about it. And I was like, I got to do it now. And I'm like, wait a second, Steve, remember, you have a rule. You don't work 2 hours before bed because I want to protect my sleep. I don't want to get myself all jacked up. So I just put it in my journal for the next day. I put it on my to-do list. And I think just having a process like that can really, really help prioritize your sleep and make sure you get a good rest. Number 8, accountability. I think accountability is huge. It's been one of the number one things that I've put in place to make sure that I am, putting my health first, right? And I've got another video that's going to be coming out soon talking about 10 things that I am doing every single day to be happier. And one of those things is putting my health over business, putting my health over money, putting my health over other people's problems and drama. And there's obviously exceptions to the rule, but having accountability is really, really huge for me. Accountability with my morning ritual, my night ritual gives me structure. I've got a health and fitness coach that I hired last November. And last November I was, I think, 208 pounds. And right now I'm at about 182. And that's been huge because he's checking over my steps per day. He's checking over how many calories I'm eating, if I'm hitting my protein. So essentially, like, he has an app that, integrates with like my health app and my Fitness Pal app. So he's able to see everything, see my workouts, build workouts, different things like that. So yeah, big shout out to my health coach. Yeah, he's great. Jazz is awesome. I'll see if I could put a little Instagram clip there, or maybe his handle, so if you guys want to check him out. But he's definitely been great. Number 9, hydration. This has been really, really big. First thing, right, every single morning, right when I wake up in the morning, before I do anything, right before I brush my teeth, before I go into my morning ritual, is I hydrate. And the night before, I get myself like a little mason jar with like, 16 ounces of water. And what I do is I put in some potassium because I had a test done that said I was low on it. So I'm working with a functional medicine doctor for that, but I put in some potassium, I put in some Himalayan sea salt, and then I throw in some electrolytes, mix it up, and I have it on the counter. So first thing when I come down, I drink that water. And when you're sleeping overnight, you become very dehydrated. And if you're dehydrated, you're gonna feel hungry, you're gonna feel irritable, you're gonna feel tired. You're going to be giving your brain mixed signals. So first thing in the morning, hydration. Also what I do is I have a little, 40-ounce Yeti bottle that I fill up with water. I've got a reverse osmosis water machine, which is important. Don't drink tap water. That's the worst thing you could be doing. Stay away from the tap water. There's birth control in there. There's a bunch of BS. You do not want to be consuming that stuff. So make sure at least get yourself a Brita to clean out some of the BS that is, in the tap water. I mean, you could go on websites and you can look up the contamination levels for your town. I mean, my town, it's through the roof. It's nasty that people are even drinking that stuff. So hydration's big. Usually within like an hour or two, I'll have another glass of water and I'll put some lemon in it. I mean, lemon water in the morning with some sea salt, it just makes me feel freaking good. Again, is this gonna make everybody feel good? Maybe, maybe not. Is it necessary everybody eats ground beef and eggs? Maybe, maybe not. But this is what's been helping me, and trying to hit about 100 ounces of water per day has been really great. And then last but not least, this is the big one. Some of you guys are not gonna like me for this. I have a good friend of mine who just really struggles with his health, struggles with losing weight, just in that cycle, right? And he smokes a lot of weed. And I indulge in it from time to time. Usually I don't like smoke the real stuff. Like I'll get like a vape or whatever, and I'll typically only do it like if I'm really looking to like relax, or I don't know, I just want to enjoy myself for a little bit. And what I usually do is throw it away the next day, because the thing with weed is, at least for me, it's just a downward cycle. And I know some of you guys are gonna say, I smoke weed every single day and I'm fit and I'm ripped and I'm jacked and look at me and my life is good. You're in the 5%. I feel like for 95% of people, and again, I have nothing against weed. I think there's a lot of benefits for folks. There's some health, benefits as well for people who have like stomach issues or illnesses and different things like that. But for me, you wanna know what it leads to every single time? Me not giving a F about hitting my goals and being my top 1% best version of myself, right? I can still live my life and be good, but I'm like 50% that. And it doesn't happen over a week or two. It's like 3 weeks in of me smoking weed every single day, and especially alcohol too. That's like 10 times worse for me. But with weed, I just become a half-assed version of myself. I start overeating. Within a couple of weeks, I start getting bloated. I mean, there's just a whole list of things that I could name off for myself. But for me, if I'm gonna smoke weed or I'm gonna hit the vape, do it one day and get rid of it. Because for me, with my personality, it's just bad. And the same with alcohol. I'm really trying to stay away from alcohol because I'm 38 years old now and I just can't do it anymore. If I drink alcohol, my days are ruined for like the next 3 or 4 days, especially if I have 1 or 2 drinks, fine, I'm okay. But still, I'm dehydrated all night long. I feel like crap. I wake up the next day feeling 80% of what I could be. I'm 80% in the gym. I'm 80% with my diet. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with being 80%, but it's what does it lead to? It leads to being 80% all week, and then you start to slack a little bit and you build these bad habits, and then you're 60% the next week, and the next thing you know, 2 months have gone by, you're the same weight, your weights are the same in the gym. And for me, like, I'm literally trying to grow. Like, I'm trying to become the best version of myself. I don't want to wake up feeling 80% or 50%. If I have 4 or 5 beers, you ain't seeing Rake and Profit for a couple of weeks, because I'll tell you, the depression comes on, the anxiety comes on, the binge eating comes on, the bloating comes on, just the regret. I mean, for me, it's just not good. So that's been really, really big. And again, those are the 10 things that I'm really focused on. I know this is, pretty long video. I don't know how many of you guys are still hanging here. So if you're still watching this video right now, say, Steve, I'm still here. But those are the things that I'm focusing on, to be able to just be healthy, to be the best version of myself. And I'm seeing a lot of great results. And the more hard work and discipline that you put in, the more you stay on track with this type of stuff. And again, maybe 1 or 2 things for you, maybe 80% of this stuff is like, this isn't for me. But for me, the more consistent I am with all this, the better I'm feeling, the better I'm looking, and just want to make a video sharing some of this, guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, everybody who watches the channel and follows along. I hope maybe one or two of these things helped. If it did, or there was anything that got you interested, leave a comment down below. But with that being said, guys, much love. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.